In the early days of the automotive industry, there was significant concern about the dangers faced by pedestrians in front of these new machines. Considering that carriage accidents were not uncommon, the situation became even more complex with the increasing accessibility of automobiles capable of reaching speeds of up to 43 miles per hour. It was natural for pedestrian safety to become a major concern. And that was exactly what the inventor of this device thought. His advertisement was as follows: "If the modern auto or truck hits you, don't worry. Equipped with this device, you are simply given a free ride." This man even came from behind another car, was struck, but not even scratched. Really? The first thing I can see happening in a real situation is the man's foot getting stuck under the grill, and the rest of his body being thrown up. Not a pleasant scenario. The best solution to this problem was the creation of traffic laws and teaching defensive driving to drivers. But I can imagine where this idea might have come from. Do you see any resemblance? Inventions are generally like this, inspired by the technologies of our time. Speaking of which, train journeys were generally lengthy, providing plenty of time to take a nap. This is where Herbert Small's invention of a patented hammock in 1889 comes into play. What do you think? I just can't guarantee that your legs will have good blood circulation after the trip. And the safety issue, one sudden break and you'll end up in the front seat or the aisle. Of course, this is less likely on a train, but on a bus, I wouldn't recommend it. He probably got this idea while resting in his home hammock. Speaking of ideas, let me ask you, how to quickly build a machine in 1834 that produces 1 horsepower? I present to you Eliakim Briggs' patent for 1 horsepower. In an era without compact electric or combustion engines, it wasn't such a bad idea after all. Well, now we come to this curious amphibious vehicle from 1909. According to the article, this was the first vehicle of its kind to be officially adopted by a government for military purposes, being used by the French armed forces. It was a vehicle designed for special missions, such as reconnaissance or crossing a stream to set up a temporary rope bridge, among other possibilities. And it was actually built, as you can see in this image. The vehicle was essentially a motorboat with a steel hull integrated into a car chassis. Its 14 HP gasoline engine was water-cooled by 2 radiators mounted on the deck. It was equipped with a 3-speed manual transmission that allowed the vehicle to reach 25 miles per hour on land and 6 miles per hour in water. The transition between land and water use was done via a lever, which disconnected the chain transmission from the wheels and directed power to the propeller shaft. When exiting the water, a rope could be attached to a capstan on the car, assisting in pulling the vehicle out of the water. The steering wheel controlled both the rudder and the front wheels, which were solid and made of galvanized steel, equipped with solid rubber tires, and the brakes were installed on the rear axle and the vehicle's transmission. Despite all these interesting features, the fate of this vehicle is unknown, but it was certainly a remarkably creative idea for its time. Well, I'll end it here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos are on the way.